blood which was found. Then technetium 99 RBC scintigraphy was done, which could not localize the site of bleeding. And after the mania subsided and anemia was corrected, the patient was discharged and advised for a selective angiography. Now this all things were done in some other hospital, and with all that he was after discharge he again had 2 bouts of melena, got scared and then turned to this hospital. He got admitted here, and then on examination we found him to be markedly pale. There was no signs of icterus, lymphadenopathy, clubbing or biliary edema. Vital parameters were normal. Abdominal examination revealed a firm, non-tender mass approximately of the size of 6 into 4 inches. It was irregular, occupying the right hypochondrium and lumbar region. Upper border of the mass was ill-defined, however, the lower margin was well filled. The liver and spleen were not palpable. There was no ascites. Colorectal examination was normal. Other systems were within normal limits. So we had 3 differential diagnoses: one of periampullary carcinoma, carcinoma of the hepatic structure of the colon, and retroperitoneal tumor. His investigations were normal. We did a barium mean X-ray of the abdomen, of the stomach and duodenum, which showed a dilated C loop of the duodenum. His ultrasound revealed mixed echogenic mass of a size of approximately 10 into 7 into 10 centimeters below the head of the pancreas, inseparable from the pancreas, the region of the second part of the duodenum. CT scan of the abdomen revealed well encapsulated soft tissue mass of the size approximately 10 into 9 centimeters at the gastroduodenal junction. The second part of the duodenum was deformed, indistinguishable from the head of the pancreas. CT-guided FNAC was done, which revealed 9 spindle cells. Now, he was planned for a laparotomy after correction of anemia. We opened him through a right paramedian incision, and intraoperatively we found approximately a 6 into 5 inches irregular tumor, which was medial and posterior to the duodenum, inseparable from the pancreas. It was quite vascular. The other organs were normal. Para-aortic nodes were not palpable, and there was no evidence of ascites. This, as you can see, is the mass. This is the duodenum, second part of the duodenum. A Whipple procedure was done on him. This is the operation going in progress, and then this is the size specimen. Specimen was sent for histopathology, and it came out to be a leiomyosarcoma of the duodenum, with free margins and negative lymph nodes. Post-operative period was uneventful. A CT scan done after 4 months was normal. Now the patient was advised post-operative chemotherapy, but he refused. 18 months after, he developed a mass at the parietal wall over epigastrium with secondaries in the liver, and the patient expired unfortunately 30 months after the operation. Now coming to review of literature, tumors in the duodenum are uncommon. 16% of them, the small bowel tumors, are benign duodenal. Now leiomyosarcoma of the duodenum is very rare. The most common benign duodenal tumor is an adenoma. Leiomyosarcoma of the duodenum constitutes 8% of the leiomyosarcoma of the small bowel. We did a midline search and we found that there are only 9 case reports in the last 10 years. This leiomyosarcoma of the duodenum may present usually with GI bleed or duodenal obstruction or obstructive thrombus. Thank you. This ends my capsule.